Hello, let's move all this chair a little bit. There we go, I'm on screen. Yeah, this is the first stream of the week for the Coloring Voxels, sort of QA testing as we're getting ready for release. This is the first time streaming on this PC for a little while, so apologies for any teething issues. Like for one, I know I need to update the chat over here. Give me a second, also update the chat in the top right there. Remember how to do it real quick as well. Apologies. Alright, there's the chat. I can resize that. There we have it. So that's the chat. Hello Kai, welcome in, just in time for me to see the message, thank you. Let's drop that nice up there. There we have it. So yeah, with this stream, as I was saying, we're going to be playing, because I'm shouting with music, thank you. Turn that down. Any other audio issues, let me know. Shit, we'll try it at 9%. Yeah, this is the first stream on the Steam store page since the Next Fest, I believe. So if it's your first time seeing the game since the Next Fest, there is a sizable number of changes. As you can see here, we have more worlds on the side here. Dungeon and underwater, both very close to being done as well. But also we have settings in here, we have languages. Not sure if those work just yet, I'm not going to turn it on. Time-lapse settings, that was one of the requests we had. We can now change it so the time-lapse when you go in on outer levels or on or off, or only one or the other. 10 much duration as well, you can speed up and slow down the time lapse if you want. Hello Crimson, welcome in. Hello. Toggle click to colour. And this is a request from Coloring Pixels actually that we decided to put in. Chandra, welcome in as well. Hello. So a lot of you might be happy to see this. I'll give it a try. I know it. The fans are on, so if it's too loud, we'll get Jack turned off. It is a heat wave to do, but if it's too loud, we'll turn it off. Yeah, this toggle click to colour is, again, as it says, you toggle click instead of hold click. We'll play with that a bit. I know it was turn that properties up for the sun. There we go. Found it. I can turn that up. Okay, there we go. Let me know if that's any better. It should be on the right mic and turned up. Let me know if that's too loud now. We can turn it back down. Yeah, Jack, don't go turn the fans off. Thank you. Which means the stream will last until we have until we pass out a heat stroke, because it is a. It's not Chris, no, it's Jack. It's Jack's personal account. Well, and yeah, keyboard speed, as that makes out. That means we've got keyboard controls, world sprite speed. I think that's for the main menu. And drag speed, I might be one of that. High level names as well, a common setting from the Coloring Pixels as well. We are going to try and get a lot of the Coloring Pixels settings into this game as well. Just because, again, this is always called Coloring Voxels, it is technically Coloring Pixels 2.0 as well. And this as well is for the main menu, we'll show that off in a bit as well. I'll leave them on pressing tab. And yeah, resolution, all that good stuff. So, yeah, we're going to be going through QA testing. This is the volcano world. We showed off quite a lot in the Next Fest as well. But you'll notice it looks a lot different. We have a lot of the effects are in. Oh, we're panning up. Ooh, that's new. We pan up and down. That's pretty exciting. So yeah, you can see the water has this nice glow. We've got lava spewing out of the top there. The mic is right close to me, Rob. Do you mind turning your own volume up? Is that the issue? I'll turn the music up a bit more though. Although it wasn't 15% when I said it was too loud, so we'll see. I'm turning the volume of the music back up. It was too loud earlier apparently, so let me know. Where's good? Is your tab audio up? Yeah, I'll leave it at 20. Everyone else let me know if it's too loud, too quiet, whatever. We'll come work it out. Can you hear the music, Jack? Kai, if you're still there?
Barely.
Barely.
About half.
I'll turn the music up and turn my headset off. Thank God it's loud to my headset. Hang on, that's a minus 21%. That's the problem there. That's minus 21% on the decibel volume. There we go. Put it back to there. Turn that down. There you go. Let me know if that's far too loud for you guys. Can you hear that now? Is that better?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go, sound. Obviously Steam has quite a bit more of a delay than Twitch as well, so it's a bit of a back and forth. Sorry for that, thank you for your patience. And the other showing off, we have sort of updated the effects, so you see the smoke above the volcano has a bit of transparency. We have the lava spewing out. And I think we have leaves falling out of some of these. Here we go. And some splashes in the water as well. So it looks a lot nicer. The level is pretty much still the same. Like the actual playing of the level, but there was a lot of changes to the way it looks. So yeah, we'll jump over to the planetarium level. I'll jump straight there. Just because I know there's a lot of QA needed for this one. And I haven't actually played this one yet. So we'll start with this one. See, I haven't played this one. You see, I've played a little bit. This is sort of from when I was getting stuff for the... I want to shut the window a bit as well. We'll see how it goes on.
We're going to boil in here.
I played a little bit of some of these levels for the new trailer, which is also on the store page. If you want to check that out after the stream, you can do. Recommend it. It looks much nicer than the previous one. So any levels that do have sort of a start, we'll probably just delete those save files and play from the beginning. So, sure, we'll start with the fleets just because they're... Actually, we'll start with the asteroid belt. I don't know if that child's okay. And yeah, another change you'll notice if you play the demo is this sort of grid on the bottom, and this is for levels exactly like this where the starting points are all over the place. Because if you started over here without this grid, you may not know that there's more cubes over on the left and stuff. It should have been the ship from Red Dwarf, shouldn't it? I think it is just a dwarf star. Oh, so yeah, again, single click. Single click, and you see the mouse on the screen changes colour. That's showing that when it's coloured in or highlighted, that the click is down, and you can just click once and then drag around. You don't need to hold down the click, which again I know is a big issue with colouring pixels for especially the larger levels. And that's just a nice quality of life feature that we've implemented. Hopefully you guys enjoy that as well. So we'll test this. What we're doing today is QA testing the game, so not just the levels, any issues we find with the settings, that sort of stuff. So for example, pressing tab, that's a known issue. Can't really see it behind the stream overlay, but you sort of get a little hint of the numbers coming in and out as that's coming in. So any sort of issues we can find, like technical problems as well as level issues, we'll make a note of them and I'll make sure to pass it on to the team so they can get them fixed for Friday. So I know Rob's already got a long list, so we can see if we can stress them out even more with more things to fix. Another small change as well. Again, if you watch us on Twitch or if you're a Patreon and play the game, you'll know all this, so apologies for sort of spewing the same information. But again, if you still haven't seen this on the store page since the Next Fest, you'll notice this on the left is new as well. This is the layer select, and lets you go up and down layers in a much more sort of visually pleasing way, because it was originally along the bottom, there wasn't any numbers, you didn't know where you were. You can also use keyboard controls as well. So Shift Q and E moves between the numbers, and Shift Q and E moves up and down as well. So some keyboard controls are in. WASD moves us around. Arrow keys moves us around. I think there might be more. It's coming. What is you? I'll ask Rob for confirmation on that. But yes, we've got arrow keys. We've got keyboard controls. We've got toggle click. Lots of accessibility features, so you can play the way you want to make it more easy for yourself. Minor thing I'm noticing here, got to try and show on the next layer, because there was issues with this initial toggle click, because I was noticing that the click was stayed down between numbers. They're gonna keep calling you Chris. And now the click automatically turns off. But if you're fast enough, we'll zoom in to see. If you're fast enough as you colour over the numbers, it'll pick number 2 as well. There you go. And then the click's turned off. So minor issue, but it's not really a problem. There's the asteroid belt. Not really much to look at by itself when it gets put into the scene. Ooh. Tooltips. Pulls a new as well. So as you mouse over the button to the bottom, shows us what it means. So you delete the save. You can new game plus, and you can go back to the menu. You have up here as well. So you can't really see. Let me turn. Let's go and look. Gross for a second. I apologise. We'll turn off the overlay. No, I'm not going to turn off the overlay because that didn't help. I will move the display along just for now. Can I? Hello? It's locked. Unlock that. Move the display over here just so we can see. Got these 2 buttons in the top right as well. We've got the toggle auto repeating time lapse, so that'll stop it playing again. Hopefully, when we pressed it. You can notice it was playing on loop over and over again. It stopped doing that. It's played it once and it's finished. And this, I believe, yeah, toggle spin, so stop spinning. You can manually spin it yourself with the middle mouse. Unless you turn it on, it'll do it itself. There we go. Turn the back on as well. These settings save as well, so if you turn off the auto repeating time lapse, and then I'll turn it off just to prove it, or check it, I guess. And the next level, we'll see that that setting will be remembered. Try and get us back into a nice spot. I don't know why this window's not the right side anyway, but there we go. Yeah, we'll move on to the next level. That one, no problems. Again, only 2 colours, quite a small level. But we should see it appear in the main menu here now though. Hello, asteroid belt. There you are. Can I scroll up? Yeah, click and drag down. This seems a bit weird on this level, probably because there's not much to look at yet. There's the asteroid belt, and you notice there's the little eye icon appeared next to the level there. You press this. Oh no, it was broken. Maybe it's still broken. It's meant to hide the actual level from the menu here. So something I was working on fixing. I know it was on his list. I guess I've not got onto it yet. But this is the idea of this functionality will be when you click the eye, it'll hide the levels. So on levels like the medieval or the volcano, where you've got sort of built up buildings around the outside. That's too fast. I think I've broken it. Oh no. I pressed it before it was ready. Go! No! It's hide the levels. I'm going to have to close the game and relaunch, but I think that's going to probably affect the stream, so fingers crossed we're alright. Bear with me if it goes down. Yep, reconnecting. Let me know if the stream comes back, please, Jack.
Oh well. It's gone off for now.
Yeah, we'll wait a second or two.
You're back.
We're back. Thank you, Jack. So yeah, sorry about that. That was an issue with, I assume, the I button. We're not going to press that again. Hopefully we've got a note of that. We'll probably open a notepad actually. Make sure I don't miss anything. Windows notepad. Not on this PC. We don't have a notepad. Press get. See what happens here. Sure, every PC has a notepad, doesn't it? Anyway, I'll make note of that. We'll make note of any other issues we'll find as well. There we go. We have notepad. Exciting times.
Do you need to refresh the chat now?
I might do. Let me check.
There's a few messages in there. I don't think I can see them on your end.
Yeah, the ID will change, won't it? Bear with me as I fix the chat as well. That'll update automatically. I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm gonna have to fix it fully on now. There we go. I figured how to do it, you just press through, there's a refresh button. That's handy. So yeah, we've got a notepad now, I'll make a note of any issues we find. I managed to break the main menu. Loading. Might be from quickly or from cursor. So I'll make a note of what could possibly be the issue with it. Try and recreate it later on. We won't want to try and recreate that now. That's something we need to try and look at getting fixed. So yeah, we see the asteroid belt appeared over in the top left. We're going to just go around this direction and do all the levels. So we have some fleet levels. These are a bit on the nose in terms of, you know, see if it recognises what these are from. I'm sure some of you Trekkies will notice this straight away. Pretty iconic. They're also scaled down quite a bit as well, so try and spot what games they're from. I don't think this particular world has any effects in yet, like particle effects, special effects. But I know we were talking about the idea of having this particular level having like lasers or phaser beams, legally distinct, of course, firing, because there's going to be two different ships or two different fleets you'll see as we finish the levels. Holding on the click by habit, you don't need to hold on the click anymore. Not with the setting turned on anyway. Just to have a bit of, again, a bit more motion, a bit more life in the picture. It shouldn't be too hard to do as well. We do have the material effects. You've got the nice glows of the engines or the warp cores or whatever they might be. So we've got a little bit of materials, but we don't have any particle effects on this level yet. Yeah, I think each ship here is from a different franchise. So yeah, let me know if you spot any ones. Of course, legally distinct. Don't sue us, please. But yeah, no, it's just a little fun Easter egg in the level. I don't recognise a couple of these, like, personally. But if you're a bigger sci-fi fan than I am, I'm sure you'll recognise them all. Battlestar. Never watched Battlestar. Pillar of War, is that Halo?
Indeed.
No, not Halo, of course. We'll turn that off again, so we'll test it. So we've turned off the auto animation setting there in the top right. Don't think it saved when you happen to close the game in that weird way. So we'll see if it saves there for this time when we go into Evil Fleet. Because I believe that should be saved. If it's not, we'll make a note for Rob to cry about. And this is the Evil Fleet, so we've got a cube. Just a cube, don't worry. There's two cubes. Maybe we've got two cubes. It's always an interesting thought I have with when it comes to the vertical scrolling on the world view is great. Yeah, especially for the larger levels. I think Dungeon was the biggest issue. Obviously, that's not playable at the minute. But Dungeon is quite high up. There's quite a lot of tall walls and stuff. So once you finish the level, you couldn't really see inside. And that was the sort of driving force behind getting some sort of verticality in the view there. I know for a long time we wanted better camera controls for the main menu, just to give you a chance like to look around. Awful lot of cubes. But this is sort of a nice addition to let us see inside the dungeon level and stuff like that, without breaking the game just for release. There we go. Same with the this sort of sci-fi fantasy stuff. Borg Cube is a good example of what I think is a good spaceship design, in the sense of like, why are all the spaceships you see aerodynamic and have a forward-facing, everything has like a forward-facing direction. If it's in space, I know that I think the Battlestar, one of the shows do a good, one of the ones I haven't watched, do a good example of like ships don't always meet face to face like they do in Star Wars and Star Trek. They're gonna meet at random angles, you know, it could be above them, different orientations, that sort of stuff, because in space there isn't up and down. So whereas a cube has no front, has no back. I didn't say Borg at all, I said cube.
You did.
Probably disabled. Yeah, another thing to mention, based on just what I'm listening to at the minute, is there is a big update to the music as well since the demo as well. In the demo, I think we only had 10 tracks, I want to say, maybe 20. But now we've got a total of 50 tracks. It goes over just over 2 hours worth of music, which is pretty good. And it's all by the same musician. It's all in the same theme, and it all just blends really nicely into giving that relaxing feel we want for the game. So, if you're interested in the music, the store page for the soundtrack is available now as well. So, definitely not streaming in 4K. I haven't got that internet speed, Jack. The soundtrack store page is live. You can wishlist that as well. It should be, if you scroll down on the store page here, it should be linked on the DLC, I think. And yeah, you can purchase the soundtrack yourself as well if you want to support us a bit extra when the game comes out, as well as sort of have the music for yourself to download and listen to whenever you want, because it is very relaxing, it is very well made. I'm very happy with the music in the game as well. And I said over 2 hours worth of music as well, so plenty of variation in there to listen to without getting repetitive. And I guess whilst on that topic, as it shows on the store page, the game is going to be free to play. It's going to be completely free. There's going to be 7 worlds in the free game with 16 levels each. We're aiming for, correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, 20 hours of gameplay? We'll see. We might have the maths completely off. This underwater world we made, according to the editor, there's 16 hours of gameplay. I don't think that's right. So we might get more than you've bargained for in terms of playtime, but if we've made it correctly, there should be 20 hours of gameplay in the free game, and then every month for the next 12 months we're going to be releasing a DLC as well. Each DLC is going to be an entirely new world. So we've got this planetarium world, we've got the volcano world, we're making new worlds every month as well. So there'll be more content if you want to help support the devs, if you want to play more of Coloring Voxels, there will be more and more content being made every month as well. You're in for a 20-hour mark, yeah. 14 to 20 hours, just so you get a full game experience. You know, we're not releasing a demo, we're not releasing a teaser, we're releasing a full game. So you get to play that full game, and then if you want to play more, you can play more. This setting on the top right didn't save. I think they meant to. And I'll level spinny. I'll try the other one, the toggle spin. We'll turn toggle spin off. But yeah, I recognise the cubes. I recognise this thing from not Star Wars. Don't know what these are. This one's very small as well. So you sci-fi nerds in the chat can let me know. As we move on to the next level, which is Dyson Sphere. So this is a planetarium world. It's not the solar system. Where are the fleets? Hello. Oh, they're at the height. There they are. So yeah, they're positioned to be facing each other. Yes, they are. We can't quite see up far enough on this level. And that's radiator. Yeah, it's just flying radiator. Heating of space. Global warming. Knife for the space warming. Yeah, it's a bit too high. You can't really see it. Maybe we'll be able to see more once we have more levels done. But this was one of the most recent levels put in, so we'll see where the layout is when we get there. And yeah, this is a planetarium. It's not the solar system, so it's not in like a set in order that makes sense to any sort of real world or real life layouts. It's just sort of laid out to be aesthetically pleasing when it's all done. More Halo stuff, yeah. I've played Halo, but I've never really been massively into it, so I didn't recognise it. Do the lift. Too late, I'm doing the Dyson Sphere. I did see a screenshot of this in the Discord. If you're a Patreon or a content creator, I guess we did send out emails to content creators yesterday. You have access to the game now. You can play it before release. If you want to play right now as well, you can join the Patreon. I think if you go to the Discord, there's links in there. If you go to the website, there's links there to the Patreon. And you get access right away, right now. Sort of pre-release. Obviously all the content's not there just yet, but if you want to play it right now, you can do. Just expect changes. But yeah, I saw on the Discord one of the Patreons playing, I think it was just the level, and the sun in the middle was very bright. So we'll see if that's been addressed yet. I don't know if it has. We'll see if it's still really bright. Yeah, Dyson Sphere is a, if you don't know, it's still sci-fi, right? It's not, doesn't real. It's a theory of creating energy collecting sphere directly around the sun for infinite or a lot of renewable energy. So obviously you don't have the technology to build so close to the sun, but if we could do it, this is the concept. And you see it in a fair few different sci-fi settings as well. Just imagine solar panels directly around the sun. That's kind of the concept of what a Dyson sphere is. And I will do the lift next, because Rob is very happy with the special effects on the lift, I think. Space Elevator's Hyper's favourite as well, so we'll definitely show that off then. I know Rob was boasting about what he done on it, I think it was yesterday, so must be good if I was boasting about it. Even right here. One change I think is new as well. On the left there, the scroll bar is scrolling up without me doing it. Let me check if it goes up from 11 to 12. Yeah, so that's been going up automatically on the left. Initially when this is implemented, it would just go all the way over, but now it's been automatically scrolling, I think, which is good, because now you'll not get lost where you are on the menu of layers on the left there. The lift's just going to be a high one as well, so it'll let us see more of the world. That's good. I know for those of you wondering, a Dyson sphere isn't a Hoover. That's a Dyson ball. I'm wondering where the sun's going to come into this level, because surely we're past the point where the sun would be. Is there a sun in this level? Or to do the sun separate? Is the sun separate to the technology? It might be. The sun is separate to the Dyson sphere. I thought it would be here. I thought it was going to be a small sun if we're already at the middle planet of the Dyson sphere here. If you're a Coloring Voxels fan as well, we released a bonus image for free yesterday. So update your game, you can get a free bonus image to play. And the pixel art you create, spoilers for those who haven't played it yet, is actually this Dyson sphere. Jack decided to recreate this in pixel art, so you can play that for free. Sort of help you get hyped for this release of this game, whilst getting some free levels to play on Coloring Voxels as well. It's important to note for all your Coloring Voxels fans who are excited for Coloring Voxels, this isn't replacing Coloring Voxels. We're going to be running both Pixels and Voxels side by side, so you're getting content for both games. So yeah, twice as much content every month for you guys to be playing, and also twice as much for Jack to be making, but that's for Jack to worry about, not me. And as well as that, with it being release week, if you haven't already stopped by the Discord, we have a lot of activities going on. Today was just a little bit fun with a spot the difference and a colour by numbers, but we've got a few things throughout the week. Previously we've had the 3D printed files. There's a photograph of that in the Discord. You can, if you have a 3D printer and want to print out some Coloring Voxels levels, we've made those for you. What else we had? A nonogram, other puzzles. Dot to dot, that sort of stuff. So if you jump in the Discord, there's some more coming out as well, so you can see all the activities. And I forgot where I was going with that. I guess I'll just promote the Discord. The Discord is a good place for all our gamers to, all our fans to sort of get together, talk about the game, enjoy all the news and the upcoming releases. So I was going to say, as part of this week's activities, also we have this live stream that we're doing right now. But we also have another one on Thursday. It'll be at the same time, so 1 PM UK time, whatever time it is for you guys, wherever you are in the world. And we'll be QA testing some more, so any issues we find today, we might be revisiting them, seeing if we have addressed them properly, or we're just playing more levels, because there is a lot of gameplay to be playing. I know Jack Pang there is making more levels right now. I think he's still working on arcade, maybe? You can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. But hopefully that'll be done by Thursday, and I'll be able to playtest that as well. So yeah, stop by again on Thursday, and we'll be playing some more. And if you're busy on Thursday and you can't stop by to watch the stream, don't worry, we record all the streams that we live stream, and we upload them to our YouTube channel as well. So there'll be a link somewhere, either on this store page, if not in the Discord on the website, to the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see all this footage re-uploaded to the channel as well. So you can catch up on any live streams you might miss as well. Here we go. It's just a metal ball. Don't worry about it. It doesn't do anything yet. This setting didn't save either. So I'll turn on top right. You can't really see it. The setting for manual spin. I turned that off. Didn't save. So I made a note of those. Rob can have a look at that later on as well. It is getting warm. We have a heat wave in the UK right now, and we've had to turn the fans off for the stream. But that's not. We'll see how long we can last. Where is there? Raw space elevator. 12,000 voxels. That's one thing I wanted to check as well whilst we're here before we jump into this level. Here we have the settings for level info. We have color count, voxel count. That's the default. Dimensions. That's about correctly now. I'll turn this one off just to check if this works. So what that should do is on this card here. I'll go back to the menu. There we go. We now have the dimensions on the right and nothing on the left. So I turned it off. And that's just to give you more choice as well. If you want to show. Should there be a... I'll go with level completion. It's not turned off. Should that be disabled by default? Best time. Is that the voxels count? I can change. I can move this way. Okay. There's a voxel counter there on the top right. I assume that's how many voxels I've coloured in. We have a setting similar on coloring pixels. How many pixels you're coloured in. We do need to make sure these overlays have the right dimensions, because we are cutting off some of the screen, which is a bit of a shame. Dimensions, not for me, but I will do voxel count, colour count. I'll even turn it around actually. There we go. But yeah, best time. I'm going to turn that on as well. Should be able to see that in the planetarium. I was like, where's the best time? Haven't done this level yet. That's why there's no best time. If we go back to one of the completed levels, there we go. Shows you the time it took to complete the levels. Obviously that's turned off by default. You can turn it off if you want. But as we play through these levels, we should be able to get time. That is sort of, we accidentally attract a bit of a speedrunning community with Coloring Pixels. So we're sort of appealing to those as well. As a thank you for playing Coloring Pixels, here's an in-game timer as well to track the time of the level. If you want to speedrun these, you can do. Right, so this is a big level, much bigger than the ones we've already played on stream today. So we'll see how we get on. As a matter of fact, I've just spotted this just starts at the top. But you can see here on the left this long scrolling. I can use the scroll wheel instead of dragging the mouse like that. We have 114 layers. I'll go down to the bottom so we can sort of see where we're at. Yeah, again, still using the toggle click. Bit of getting used to because I'm so used to Coloring Pixels having the hold click after playing it for so many years. Yeah, don't need to hold the click down. I know when we first put this in, it worked really well, but it did introduce a couple of bugs here and there. Sort of bugs that were already in the game which I didn't notice about. So that's why I'm using it predominantly today. Not because it's my preferred setting, but just to QA test and stress test the game before we really see if we can spot any more problems that we need to address. Nothing up again. This was in the demo, but you'll notice there's a highlight by default in this game. I might put in the settings for those as well. You know, some players don't like having the hints and the help, so we'll allow you to turn that off, presumably in the future with an updated setting. But for now, the default setting is whatever colour is selected gets highlighted, sort of isn't grayed out, so you can see it a bit easier. Especially if you zoomed out, you can sort of see where the 11s are, because that's what is highlighted at the moment. And that's reminiscent of the setting from the setting in Coloring Pixels, where you have hints for like the last 5 colours over the last 5 pixels of the colour, or the last 10 pixels of the entire image. It's similar to that setting, but it sort of just applies to the whole grid, because with the scale of the game, the animation's over satisfying as well. You do sort of play zoomed up quite a lot, and then it's easier to see where all the ones are in this instance. Ooh, we have some water. So this is an example of a bit of a transparent block as well. That's pretty good. I haven't had any transparent blocks today yet. So with the materials, it's not just glowy effects like we saw on the engines. We have transparency, we have motion on some of them as well. Does this one move? We'll see. Ooh, yes it does. So we've got some waves going. And there's a bit of transparency so we can sort of see through them. The waves look a bit weird at the bottom on this one. But might be a limitation anyway. But yeah, you can sort of see through because there's water. And that opens up a lot of possibilities when we're creating levels. So we can have windows that you can see in. You can have smoke that you can see through. We can have water. So a lot of actual variation in the blocks themselves as well. Not all of them are just colours. Some of them move and some of them have effects. Just to add a bit more life and a bit more flavour to the worlds as well. And as I just said, it's a large level, but apparently the top few layers are quite small due to the nature of a space elevator, I guess. So we'll play and we'll see what we get, and we are going to check the times. Excuse me, that it takes to play this game as well, because we are also trying to record the play times to make sure we are making these at the right size, to make sure we're providing enough content for everybody as well. The DLCs I mentioned earlier, they're going to be priced at $2 or $1.99, which is the second lowest price that Steam offers. And with that, we're going to make sure that you're getting enough playtime per DLC as well to make up for that price that you'll be paying for the DLC. And that's why it's important that we double check how long it takes to play these levels and how big we need to be making them. Because even though it's on the lower side of the price spectrum for Steam, we still want to make sure you're getting that value for money when you purchase the DLC. Also haven't mentioned it either, but this effect of when you're running over the blocks is always quite satisfying. So when you colour them in, you've got this like little jumping effect, but you can also mouse over the coloured in blocks and it does this ripple as well, which is just really satisfying. You can do that for ages, and I don't know, I find it quite satisfying to do. It's quite nice to look at. There's just little things like that we want to obviously want to create a Coloring Voxels 2 as we sort of coined this game, Coloring Voxels. As part of that, we wanted to make it feel like Coloring Voxels, which it does do with the aesthetic hopefully, and the sort of music and the overall feel of the game. But we want to make sure it was something extra as well. So the little effects like the rippling of the colours as you colour them in, the added materials, that sort of stuff. It adds more to the game, in our opinion. Just going from 2D to 3D, we add extra bits as well to make it feel like an evolution as well. So hopefully when you play the game, if you're familiar with Coloring Voxels, you'll notice and appreciate the differences as well, just to make it feel more modern, because the game Coloring Voxels is kind of old. If you look at it in a scale of time frame of games, it is kind of an older game now. So we want to make sure that you feel like you're playing a more modern version of Coloring Voxels when you play Coloring Voxels as well. As well as that, if you are still on the fence, you're a die-hard Coloring Voxels fan, or you've never played any other games and you're just stopping by and you're wondering are you interested or not, the game is going to be free to play, so there's no harm in downloading it and giving it a try and letting us know what you think. To sort of be free to play, you can give it a try and not worry about having to get a refund if you don't like it or that sort of thing, because ultimately once you played it, you haven't spent any money, just a bit of time, and you never know, you might, once you played it, you might feel it's much better than just watching me play. And it's coming out on Friday as well, so it's only a couple more days to make that decision. Has Rob fixed the brightness of the planet cores? We'll find out when we get there, I guess. We can do that next. I noticed when I was colouring in one of the planets for the trailer, I think it might have been, might not mean the trailer, might mean for the wallpapers I was making. I think it was the broken planet. Some of those colours in the middle looked pretty much exactly the same because of the brightness and stuff. So we'll check that as well. So the colour palette as well as the brightness. That's weird. You can see the grid through the water and it sort of looks odd. See what I mean at the top there? I thought we had a gap in the level, but it's just the grid appearing through the transparency. don't like it, but I don't know how we would address that. I'll make a note, and then Rob can just say it. Yes or no. Look due to me. Might not be too much an issue. I just noticed it. My initial reaction was there's a gap, but it's just it looks like the colour of the grid is on top of the water, which is why I feel it looks a bit weird. But yeah, Robert said he hasn't touched the planetarium since Monday, so no, there won't be anything in terms of brightness and stuff. But if you've noted it in the Discord, we will know about it. Rob will have it in his notebook as something to address. So we'll see what else we can find in terms of issues. Just make sure we can cover as much as we can and make sure the level is as good as possible for release. Ooh, just spotted another little setting. It's not even a setting, it's just a feature. So we were conscious that with 3D art, unlike Coloring Pixels, where the picture's set on your screen and you know the number's always going to be the right way up, you can rotate this around to look at the sides, look at the tops, and as you do so, the numbers rotate with you. Because initially they were upside down. You would turn around and the numbers would be upside down, and that was, you know, sort of we thought that's going to be an issue, especially for readability and accessibility. People with dyslexia or whatever else may struggle to see a number if it's upside down, more so than if it's right way up. So we made sure we incorporate that in. So we'll play these next few layers upside down just to see if there's any issues, because there has been issues in the past where the numbers wouldn't correct themselves when you go to another layer. So we'll make sure we play from different angles to make sure that it's working as intended. I think it is good, has been good for a while, but you never know, there might be something else that we've missed as we progress through the game. So far this is just a nice sunny beach, no space elevator just yet, but I'm sure it'll be coming up soon. Oh, that's a nice touch. So even though this is a different colour, it's number 25 as opposed to number 1, I think was the blue, it's still got that water effect on because it's sort of the coastal colours, isn't it? So it's still water, it's just a bit of a different blue, so it adds that nice effect. Yeah, the orientation of the numbers seemed good there. We'll keep going upside down technically, see if we encounter any problems. Again, we're not trying to break the game, but at the same time we're looking for issues to try and make sure that the game's as good as it can possibly be for release on Friday, because it's better that I find the issues now here on stream with you guys watching than you guys playing the game on Friday and finding the issues after the game's come out. So although it might seem like I'm trying to like break the game and maybe show off bad sides of it, the intention's good. We're looking to make sure the game's as polished as possible for release. And again, as I said, we've emailed a few press sites, sort of games journalists. Nobody's replied, but you never know. If you keep an eye out online, search for the game, you may start seeing some review articles coming up if anybody picks it up. But yesterday as well, we emailed a whole number of content creators as well. We've been spending the past few months gathering contact details for content creators that we think fit the theme of the game. So people who already play cozy games, already play artistic games, even puzzle games, because it is technically a puzzle game. And we've been collecting contact details for months, and yesterday was the big day where we sent emails out to everybody, giving them access keys for early access. I had a couple of replies already, which is very nice. Thank you to those people who have replied already. But that means for you guys, if you're looking for more content outside of the developers playing, because obviously, you know, we will have a biased view on the game. This is our game. We enjoy this game. If you're looking for more coverage, fingers crossed, keep an eye on YouTube. Search for the game. Eye on YouTube, eye on Twitch. And you should start seeing some videos popping up here and there of other people playing the game. And you should get some more honest reactions, I guess, is the word to look for. As other people playing the game early before release, without any sort of stake in the game either. So yeah, that Jacksepticeye video. A lot of our fans came from Jacksepticeye initially because he played Coloring Pixels way back when, and that's what kicked off the entire ToastieLabs games company, I guess. That gave us the boost we needed for Rob to actually start this company, and that's why we're here today. That's why we're playing Coloring Voxels or Coloring Pixels 2.0. So yeah, any luck, Jacksepticeye or some other big YouTuber will play the game, and then we'll be able to make Coloring Pixels 3 because we'll have even more money. That'll be the dream. But until then, as I said, we still contact, when we contact YouTubers, we don't just look for the big names. We do contact the big names. You never know, we might get lucky. Unlikely, but you never know. But we, as a small games company, we have a lot of respect for small content creators as well. Ryan Reynolds has his number, Rob. If you've got Ryan Reynolds' number, that'll that's your gateway in. But yeah, we respect the small streamers or small content creators just as much as the big ones. We know it can be quite a challenge to kickstart your channel, sort of get your feet on the ground. When there's when there's so many, I'm gonna note that down. That's a bit too bright. It's a nice part of the video, is it? Very bright. Yeah, we have a lot of respect for the small content creators as well. We're more than happy to collaborate with the smaller content creators as well as the larger ones. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, I've only got a small channel with 50 subscribers, if even that, these guys never give me a Steam key. Get in touch. We're more than happy to give you that key, give you access early if you want to sort of do a review cover or play the game. Again, there's no expectations from us either. We don't give you the key expecting you to say this game's fantastic. We just want you to play it. That's the least we can ask. That's the most we can ask, I guess. That's all we can really hope for. So yeah, if you're a content creator, you're seeing this after the fact, and we haven't contacted you because we haven't found your channel yet, please get in touch. And yeah, we can work something out as well, I'm sure. He's all bright. Yeah, Jacksepticeye videos are still doing work for us even now. Like, people recognise this game from years ago when he played it. It wasn't even a I'm going to check this game out. It was a video where he was packing up his house or something and he had nothing to do for his channel for that day, so he just found this game in the free to play section and played it, and then everyone who watched the video ended up playing the game, and it done wonders for us. So whilst we need to hope now, I did notice yesterday, I did a cheeky little self Google on I looked on the Steam store page and I was in incognito mode, so I wasn't using hopefully not using my internet cookies to influence the result, and I did spot Coloring Voxels in the upcoming section. We did have to click down a page, but it was still there. Hopefully as we get closer to the release that'll get higher up, and if that happens then we still have more of a chance of the Jacksepticeye event happening again. We'll see. I don't mean just Jacksepticeye, I mean any sort of YouTuber or content creator with a more sizable following helping us boost the game up. I'm going to make another note saying on higher res. It's very bright. These lights are very bright. It looks really nice from a distance, but when you colour them in, it's quite a bright light. Yeah, exactly. PC Gamer picked up Hexseed. We got very lucky with that. That's why we'd be, again, a bit of an outlier with Voxels, because it's the anniversary of Coloring Pixels we're releasing this on. That's why it's in August. But we normally release games in January, just because of what happened with Hexseed. With January is normally a quieter month for game release or game news. Everybody releases their games for Christmas. So post-Christmas is often quite quiet. And as a small dev, we thought we'll take advantage of that quieter area, a quieter time frame, and we'll sort of get our game out there whilst no one else is. And it kind of worked, because someone from PC Gamer got back to work after Christmas and had nothing to write about, so they looked on the free section, found our game, and wrote a little review, and that really helped for the Hexseed launch as well. So if you're a startup dev, yes, there's some other times of the year that's really good to release in, but if you're looking for, if you don't think you're going to be able to compete with some of the bigger games coming out that year, January or early months of the year can be a good time to release a game if you want to sort of release a game whilst there's nobody else really releasing any big titles that'll compete with the viewership. But at the same time, don't take that as a gospel fact, because there's a lot of other factors that you can take into account with that as well. Noting a little gap here. We'll check if that's meant to be there when we get the next layer. think it is. Look at the yeah. Okay, that is meant to be it. I think. I'm referring to this bit here. I'll zoom in a bit so you can see. Oh, ooh, these are cars on the floor. I think that's quite a nice little touch. This little block here. I think is this meant to be like this. But I think yes, we're looking at a city. Look, what's cars? Okay, we're seeing an aspect of the scale here. That's another thing we're playing around with the arcade level or Jack's working on is a sense of scale. So we have a lot of the starting levels. We have the volcano and the medieval world. They're very similar in their sense of scale. Like they're both. You could put those levels side by side and they would kind of fit together in terms of size. But we want to play around like this sort of level where it's a massive scale. Everything's really small because everything's so large. And at the same time, we want a very close-up scale. So with the arcade, it's sort of like it's kind of like one room. It is sort of split into four, but it's one room as a whole world. So allows Jack to make everything bigger and get more intricate with all the details, sort of the inner workings of all the arcade machines and that sort of stuff. Ooh, flashing lights. Yeah, as Rob said, there is a lot of luck. The game's market is so large now that it's hard to play it unless you've got loads of money and loads of manpower behind it. It's very hard to actually like work the market properly. It is a lot of luck and getting seen by the right eyes. Something that's completely out of your control for the most part. You can do your best with things in your control, but there's a lot of it outside of your control as well. You just gotta do what you can and pray that works, really. There is a free newsletter I get. It happens like 2 times a week. If you Google indie games newsletter, you'll find it. I forget the exact name right now. And it does have a lot of helpful information on there, like sort of if you're learning the trade and the little marketing tips, that sort of stuff. But we were laughing because a couple of weeks ago there was a newsletter and it was very strict, saying like, do not release your game for free. Oh, you're right, flashing on one side. We have... Yeah, it's flashing on this side. Oh, there's 2 sides. Yeah, it's flashing on 2 sides. It could be 3, could be underneath the block as well. Oh, it is flashing on the other side, you just don't have the black face. It's the lighting. Yeah, it's flashing on all the sides, it's just the lighting of the block goes weird on this side. I'll make a note. Yeah, I think it might be like shadows being cast on or something. I'll have a look, see what all that bar is. And yeah, this newsletter, we were laughing at it because it was very strict, saying do not release your games for free. You'll just kill your game, etc, etc. It's very bad, very bad. And we're in the process of releasing a free-to-play game because we know for us it works best. The audience, we've caught an audience that enjoy playing these kind of games on you know, free-to-play, smaller price DLC, etc. So we know there is a market there. I understand maybe getting into that market is difficult. We've gotten lucky with that, but it just made me realise that as good as this newsletter is, it isn't perfect. Nobody knows all the answers, right? Because you can't release the game for free and do well. And alternatively, you can't release the game for free and it'll do bad. So it's good to know that, again, one person doesn't have all the answers. See what I meant? The top few layers are very small. Again, if you don't know what a space elevator is, it's another sort of sci-fi concept. And as it says, it's a space elevator, so it's an elevator that takes you to space. So it'll be attached to a space station, or it'll be a way to get to rocket ships, that sort of stuff. Because the concept is, obviously with a lot of space travel at the moment, or space exploration, a lot of the effort goes into actually entering and leaving the atmosphere. Getting a really heavy vehicle to exit the gravitational pull of the Earth is very difficult. So if you had an elevator where everything's already in space, and people can go up and down the elevator without worrying about the cost or the resource requirement for getting the rocket in and out of the atmosphere every time as well. So again, just a concept. There isn't any technology we have at the minute that lets us build this high, this this safely. If we could achieve a space elevator, we've got to think about some things here, maybe? All these clouds. Oh, they are clouds. Yeah, it's all science fiction at the minute. It would be quite cool if we ever get to a point in our existence with a space elevator. Let's see how high we are. There we go. They are 76. How many layers total? 140. So we're nearly there. There are 40 layers left, give or take. Yeah, I was looking at the flashing. We haven't got enough blocks yet to see it in full effect, I think. So we'll see when we get a little bit higher. This is what Rob was bragging about in office yesterday, was that he's worked on the flashing of this elevator. So if you zoom out a bit, it should alternate, and yeah, you see it flashes it in sequence going up the elevator. So as we get higher up, we should see that more. I think we've got 2 or 3 more red blocks to come from. Yeah, there we go, look, it's in sequence. And that's just sort of to give it the look that as if there was an elevator travelling up the actual elevator shaft there. I think there is one inside, an actual elevator, isn't there, Jack? Is it level somewhere? Let's see if we can spot it. It's at the bottom. Let's jump all the way down. Ah, okay, so this, yeah, this bit here is the elevator. Cool. No one in the elevator. Yeah, this is looking to me like we have definitely miscalculated the level sizes, because with the game being 14 to 20 hours, that's might be what, 2 to 3 hours per game, per world? And an hour in when we're doing like 4 levels. I know we've got some bigger ones. We've actually done the smaller ones. So this may be bigger than what we expect, but again, I'll play. I'm glad one of my big jobs this week is to play through all the levels and sort of work out if there's any issues, but also the time that it took me to play these games to see if we've got the level sizes right. Fingers crossed we do, or at least close to it, because we're close to release. There's not much time to make any drastic changes. There we go, at the top here. Very nice. So if we want to got the whole lift here, we should see this flashing in sequence. There it is. It's very nice. It looks like, it might look like a lift is on its way up, right? Turn off the autoplay so I can watch it in full. There it is. That's very satisfying. It's a good sense of scale as well. Adding those clouds is a really good idea, because I don't believe the clouds are there initially, but it really adds that sense of scale to the whole level, which is really nice. So we'll head back to main menu. We'll see what the main menu looks like now we've got this in, because again that should really affect the height of the world. I keep using the scroll wheel to scroll up and down, but it's actually the click and drag, isn't it? There we go. Now we have more height, so we can see this space battle that's happening in atmosphere. Because it's next in an elevator, but it's fine. Again, this isn't, unlike the previous worlds, these levels don't really clip together. Like this ground for the space elevator doesn't connect to anything else, and that's just for the style of the world. So we're trying to try out different styles and see which works best for world creation, I guess. Part wants to do the sun inside of the. Is it the red dwarf that's inside the Dyson sphere? It is. You can see, so as you mouse over each world, or as you scroll around each world, you see a square appearing inside the world. So we'll go to the ISS. That's over here. It's a large level, as you can tell. Just based on the grid that's appearing, shows you where it's going to clip in and the size that it is in the world. So that's that one there. We'll give it a go. And this is a sun, and this is what I was talking about earlier with the if I can turn off the click setting. Excuse me. As I was saying earlier in the Discord, one of the patrons was playing this, and they did mention that the sun was pretty bright, and Rob made the joke that it is a sun. You know, it's meant to be bright, but it is too bright to play realistically, so we already know that we don't need to address the issue, or don't even note it down again, I should say. We do need to address it. And so number 3, number 4 is particularly bright. Number 5, it's so bright you can't really see the difference in the colour really either, so and yeah, so all we've done today is planetarium levels. It's all of the same theme. We will be playing other levels or other worlds come Thursday when we're streaming again. So if you want to see more of the game, sort of in the different themes, make sure you stop by on Thursday as well. So same time, 1 PM BST. We'll be playing through probably the arcade, maybe others, we'll see, just to get a feel of the different styles. Because one thing we decided on early on with the development is we wanted each world to be a completely different art style. Obviously still within voxel art, there are still limitations of that, but different colour palettes, different sort of feels to each world. So when you're playing the planetarium, it will feel and look different to when you're playing the volcano, and it'll feel different again to playing medieval. Each one's meant to be in its own style. So if you stop by on Thursday when we're playing the arcade and whatever other worlds maybe added in, you'll get an, hopefully be able to see that and get a feel for the changing art styles, changing in aesthetics per world as well. You can see a glimpse of that on the trailer. Again, trailer came out yesterday on the store page and on YouTube. We show off I think 3 or 4 different worlds in that, so you can kind of get a glimpse. It's only a minute long, the whole trailer, so it's not too in depth, but you do see a little bit of what we're talking about with the feels of the different worlds. So there's the colour palettes, the aesthetics. And it does actually make it feel different when you're playing as well. And one of the worlds Rob's working on at the moment is the underwater world, which, as the clue states, the entire world is underwater. So yeah, you can't see that core of the sun all, can you? The entire each level is entirely encompassed in water as well, engulfed in water. So there's a lot more voxels to colour in. One thing we noticed when we were playtesting the worlds is the variation of the voxels adds a lot to the playtime. So if you had this same level where it was all the same colour all the way up, you would play it a lot faster than the breakup in the texture that we've got going on here with these 3s and these 4s. So with the water level, although yes, you do have some variation in the colour with the things that are under the water, like the different fish, the different creatures, etc. The actual water itself, wow, that's extra bright. The actual water itself being all one colour means, although there's a lot of voxels, you do play through it quite quickly. Hopefully we'll see that in action on Thursday as well, if that's ready to test then. I'm sort of using some of these early levels as a learning ground, a place to learn what works, what doesn't work, because the water level, although it is very satisfying to play, it'll be interesting to know if the playtime is far too large for an individual world. And again, what's satisfying to us may not be satisfying to you, so oh my days. So when the game's out and you play the underwater level yourself, please let us know. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What would you change? Or do you want more of the same? So we'll be sure to take any feedback on board when it comes to making more worlds, to make sure that we can make them as good as we possibly can. Because although the way the world looks is important, we also focus a lot on the way the game feels when you're playing it as well. So, because the underwater world does look really nice. You can see some of the... I shared a GIF in the Discord earlier as well. If you're not in the Discord, recommend checking it out. There's a GIF of the underwater world, and it does look really nice, all being underwater. So, because again, you've got that transparent look through the water, and it really adds a nice bit of world building to that world. So, yeah, check out the GIF, and then again, stop by on Thursday to see us showing off the world as well. This is another good example of one thing we really focus on when designing these levels, is we focus a lot on the interior of the worlds as well. So I know there's other 3D based painting games or colouring games, but from what we've heard, we haven't played any because we didn't make this game to be competitive with other games. We made it to be a sequel to Coloring Voxels. What we've heard is that other games, they focus on what's on the outside, and then the inside is all just the same colour. So it's like, whilst you do in the middle, it's just boring. But we, even before hearing that, we had the idea that we want the inside of the world to be, or the inside of all the objects, all the levels to be substantial as well. So there's things inside that you'll colour in that you won't see once the world's done. You'll never see this core of the sun again, even though it's really bright. You'll not see that once the whole sun's finished. But it's important for us to know that you, as the player, know what's inside that world, because you've created it, you've coloured it in from the top to bottom. So even though there's a lot of work being put in that no one's going to see once the world's done, we feel it adds a lot to the actual feel of the game. You see it a lot in the medieval and the volcano worlds that are available to play right now as well, is that there's a lot of stuff underground. There's little hidden chests, there's hidden secrets that you can discover as you're building the level, but then once the level's built you won't really see it again. So yeah, we really like that bit of world building. We just think it, again, as we were saying earlier in the stream, it makes that game that extra step of just elevates it to be a bit nicer, makes it something even more than just colouring Pixels 2.0. We wanted to add extra elements to the game to make it feel nicer. Yeah, so Jack's been doing this week as well with the arcade machines. He's been having to Google what's inside of a dance mat machine, what's inside of a claw machine, and it turns out it's really hard to research that because nobody has videos online to show the internals of these old arcade machines. But Jack's putting the effort. He's found some bits here and there to work out and try and make them as accurate as possible. Again, at the scale, obviously it's not at a scale where you're seeing each circuit board like in a perfect resolution, so it is scaled down, but all of the internal workings of all the games are actually built as well. So you'll not just build the arcade machine, you'll build the circuitry inside. I think there's a snooker table, has all the pockets and all the ball shoots underneath it and stuff like that. And yeah, just all the extra internals of all things you might recognise. Which leads nicely onto what the first DLC will be. It was voted for by our Patreons. And the world for the DLC is going to be computer, just a PC. So the entire world, you're just building one PC tower. I haven't started yet, we don't know what it's going to look like, but we know the concept will be one level might be the graphics card, one level might be the computer chip with the thermal paste, etc. So you'll build all the parts and it'll be scaled up. You'll see all the workings, all the wiring, or whatever else. But it was saying Jack can just open up one of the PCs here in the office and use it as a reference. And yeah, just build it up from top to bottom. RGB, PC guts, exactly, all of that, all that good stuff. Maybe some dust in your fans because you haven't cleaned it out. Or water cooling, who knows? I haven't had a water cooling PC. But that can be quite interesting, running all around the PC, can't it? And yeah, you see that Dyson sphere is now harvesting energy. We have a sun inside of the sphere. And that's gathering all the energy there. It's pretty good. Do you have any requests for the next level? What's a good one? What would you recommend, Jack? I could do the Earth. Has the Earth been re-imported to the correct around yet? Jack?
Oh, sorry. I flipped it. I'm not sure if I put it back in. I assume you did.
Well, Rob said he hasn't touched it since Monday. It might still be backwards. We'll play it. We'll play Earth. It's something you'll recognise, even if it's the wrong way around.
Pretend it's flipped.
My save file's broken because I played this before it was updated, so we'll delete that. Well, I was recommending Earth or Asteroid. We'll play Earth. I was wondering why is the Earth so off-centre, but it's because, spoilers, there's also the moon in this level. And I know this has been re-imported like 3 or 4 times because it's been flipped this way and that. Because we realised one of the issues with importing the levels is you import the levels with from Voxel or Cubicle, whichever one Jack's using. and then when it gets imported into the editor, it gets flipped on its axis. And it hasn't been a problem because none of the levels have anything that's, you know, it doesn't matter which way it's facing as long as it all fits together nicely. If everything's flipped, then nothing's flipped. But then when it comes to creating the Earth, something you can actually recognise what it's meant to be, like real life thing, then when the Earth is backwards, you sort of spot that. ASMR of a Red Bull, yeah. This one hasn't been on the fridge, I'm noticing it. So one thing I was noticing, no it wasn't this one, I was going to say the yellows and the reds were all mixed up, but that was on the Broken Planet. But yeah, again, as I was saying, with the previous level, you do all the internals, you sort of get a better sense for this one, since as opposed to the sun. There's some more ASMR can opening from across the room. This is obviously the planet Earth, as we saw when we accepted the level. And what you got in the middle there is the whole planet's core as well. You've got the core, you've got the various crusts. Jack was cracking out the old GCSE textbooks to learn what the Earth looks like inside, and he's made it all in the level as well. But then when it came to the landmass, there's a few parts of the continents missing, and that got fixed. But then again, we noticed it was all flipped around, so we'll have a look when we have more to look at. See if this is right way up. It's probably already been fixed, just hasn't been imported if it is wrong, but we'll have a look whilst we're here. So again, that's all the benefit of seeing the QA stream. If this is wrong, now's your chance to see it being wrong before we release it, and it's all fixed. So a bit extra behind the scenes, you know. See all the weird and wacky issues we have to deal with when it comes to fixing a game. There's a lot of stuff you don't even think will be a problem, and then it's just such a minor thing, and like India being backwards or something. Yeah, Australia. We'll have a look. If Austria, New Zealand, if everything's Australia. I think India was completely missing from the continent of Asia for the most part. I think they got added back in, or added in. Or some of the smaller islands won't be there. I think Madagascar wasn't even there. Might have added that in. We'll see. I don't think the UK is in it, but again, it's due to the scale. As long as most of the landmass is there, and as long as it's the right way up, we're good. But again, that's what I was saying with the level scaling. This one is obviously scaled down quite a lot for what it is, but if we wanted to, we could have made this level a lot bigger just to get the actual landmass on the external of the planet looking more accurate. I think this size is pretty good for what we have here, because otherwise you will be doing a lot more of the Earth core, because most of the Earth isn't actually the land on the top. So this is a good in between, I think, without it being drastically sized. But it's worth saying, if you want to give it a try, making your levels, and we do have a competition running as well. The information on that is in the community hub. We have a competition where you can get your own voxel art into the game. So if you want to try it out, you can do it for free. There's a bunch of different voxel editing software out there. If you've never done it before, I still recommend it. We put some examples on the competition. We all made a level. Myself and Rob have never really made any at all. Jack only started making voxel art for this game. So there's proof there that even if you've never made a voxel art before, you can still make stuff and still can look quite good. So yeah, I recommend heading over to the community hub after the stream and having a look at the competition. And the way it works for the next couple of months, you can make voxel art and submit it to our Google forum, and we'll be picking 16 of those art pieces to be in the game as well. We'll create a whole new world similar to Coloring Voxels, where we have the community books. We've been making like a community exhibition or something of the sorts, where 16 different levels will be on display for you to play for free. Again, it's just a way for you to get involved, a way for you to make some art piece and get it in the game as well. So yeah, check that out, and yeah, just try making whatever you want. There are some like size constraints. You don't want them being too big, but you can make them as small as you want, and within that size as big as you want. So yeah, definitely check out the competition, definitely get some submissions in, because right now we don't have many, and that means if you do submit, there's a higher chance of you getting yours in the game. So yeah, please check out the competition. And as I said, I'd never made any voxel art before, and then I sat down one day and made an entire skeleton. So once you just, you know, get your hands on it, you can get straight into it, and it's not that difficult really. And there's plenty of time as well. I think don't quote me on this, but I think the closing submission's in October. So you've still got a good month and a half, 2 months to actually make your voxel art. You don't have to rush it out and get it done in a day like I did. You can spend a couple of weeks on it. You can, you know, do a bit here and there, get it as perfect as you want, and then submit before the deadline. So there's no rush. There's a little bit of rush. There is still a deadline, but you know, it's not a close deadline. And there's some helpful links on the competition as well. If you think, I don't know what software to use, I've never done it before, there are all links on the competition as well to some free softwares. Some of them are the ones we even use in Office as well. There's plenty of free software you can use to create voxel art. Yeah, I hope that's exactly right. Yeah, I did the skeleton, Jack did the room, and then Rob did the toaster as well. We wanted to show examples of, you know, one thing we do look for is, one thing we're hoping to see is the internals as well. So as I'm saying, with this Earth, we've got the inside, we've got the core of the planet. And whatever you make, we're hoping that if there are internals, that you've actually put detail into those as well. So that's going to be a lot of extra points, a lot of extra bonus points for when we're picking the winners. That's why Rob did the toaster, so you can see, you know, there's internals to the toaster. There's a gap. There's the heating elements. That's why Jack did that room, because there's a wardrobe. I don't know if the picture shows it off, but at some of the angles you can see clothes hanging inside the wardrobe. And my initial intention was to create the skeleton into a full body, so there's a skeleton and there's a bit on top, but I thought we're not even going to be able to see that in the screenshot anyway, so just made the skeleton. But yeah, if you make an animal or a person, you can do the bones inside if you want to get down to the nitty gritty. Again, it's up to you what you make, but the more detail to the interior as well as the exterior is definitely way to earn some bonus points on making your submission get into the game. Yes, we should have an in-game link to the competition for sure. Because not everyone who plays the game, although thank you to everyone in this stream who's stopping by the store page. I'm sure you're interested in checking the community hub as well, seeing what update posts we put out, seeing the news, that sort of stuff. But, you know, nothing bad about it, but most people who play the game aren't going to read all the news, aren't going to see all the posts, because they just want to play the game, right? So making sure we've got that visibility in game will be a big bonus as well. Although it will make it harder for everyone else to get the entries to win, because there'll be more entries hopefully, but it makes it a more fair competition if you've got more people submitting. And as it says on the competition information, we do all of the selection process anonymously as we can, so there's no favoritism for people who maybe long-term supporters or long-term players. Doesn't matter who you are. If you've submitted an art piece, it'll be judged fairly and as anonymously as we can, to make sure everyone gets a fair chance. I made the grid follow to your current layer. It's dreadful. This grid, yeah. I can't. I think this is really nice the way it is. It sort of gives you the sense of the scale. You know there's going to be something else off to the left here. I don't need to see it in every layer. I don't know, maybe it looks alright if you have that setting in the game. I'll give it a try. Maybe I will like it, but my initial thought is this is the best one so far, or the best way to use it so far. But another thing with our settings as well, whenever somebody asks for a new feature to the game, instead of just adding it as a feature, we like to add it as a setting. So it gives the players choice. That's why the Coloring Voxels settings list is so long. That's why the voxels list has already got a scroll bar. If we add something in, like the timer and stuff. The timer's a nice feature, but everyone wants it. So we add a setting to let you turn it on or off at will. So, you know, we're not forcing it onto everybody. You can customize the game settings to your own preference and sort of play at your own speed, because although I did mention earlier we have the timer on the main menu, you can sort of see how fast you played each level. as we're appealing a little bit to the speedrunning side of the community. Ultimately, the game is a relaxing, calming game. So we don't want to force features onto people that make them think they've got to go quicker or they've got to rush the level. Ultimately, the heart of the game is it's a relaxing game where you just play it to unwind. You're not meant to be speedrunning it. There's no harm if you do. But you're meant to be able to, you know, on an evening, put on your favourite music and just play this game. You know, something simple, something chill. Maybe you can set the outer bounds of the level rather than the default. I mean, just the outline. I guess variations. I know you were asking in the chat about how big the grid should be, like what size. You could add a scale for the grid if you want, like 1x1 grid, you want a 5x5 grid. Make it a slide bar, maybe that could be an option. But again, might be too much. Depends how much work it'll be for how much of an important setting it'll be as well, because it's a nice little feature, but we might have enough of the planet after this layer to have a little look and see if we can spot any inaccuracies. Make Jack sweat a little bit behind me, more so than the heatwave's doing. Thought it was funny yesterday. Obviously, the heatwave in the UK started yesterday, so everyone on the news and the radio was all talking about it. But up in the northeast, we had still bad weather. So they're on about on the radio, oh, it's a lovely day, you know, go out in your yard, all this sort of stuff. And I'm walking to work and I'm looking at the sky and it's overcast and cloudy, and I'm like, what are you on about? And then they mentioned on the radio that it's everywhere but the northeast and Scotland. So I was like, oh, cool. But we've got some sun today, and I'm starting to feel it with the fan turned off. Let's see where we're at. Right, what we got here? Is that Africa? I think that's Africa. So this will be Australia. As I said, a bit squished, but it's fine. It's an awkward angle, right? Oh. And that's South America. Don't see the what's it called, that island we on for no reason. Argentina hates us having. We don't see Madagascar. But it's the scale. That's it. A lot of the small islands aren't going to be there. The Falkland Islands, that's what they're called. Come on, Jack, we're fought for those islands. Yeah, the Falklands, that's the one. It's absolutely tiny on the scale of the Earth. You're not at this scale, I wouldn't really expect to see it. Don't go putting it in, Jack. And as I was saying, as Jack said, to vibe out, exactly, the feeling. And this music here, this is a slower track, and it is making me too chill. It's affecting my ability to keep up with the chat. Just ready to go to sleep whilst I play the game. Which is kind of what we want. We want the game to be relaxing and to something to unwind to. So everything in the game sort of leads towards that. The no rush to the pace of the game, the ease of playing, and the aesthetic, the way it looks, and then the music as well. So everything is designed to be relaxing, to be calming. So if you're playing this and you're feeling like sending it to sleep, don't worry, it's meant to. It's kind of the end, kind of the idea. Not exactly to fall asleep, but just to relax you to a point where you can chill out. We should be getting to a tunnel. We'll see what's on the left here as well. Spoilers, there's the moon. It's included in the same level because, again, because of the scale, the moon would have been too small to have as an individual level. So it's included in the Earth level. There isn't a Jupiter level, but I did make the joke to Jack that he needs to make sure Jupiter has all 13 moons or whatever it is. It's not crazy. It might even be more than 30, I'm not too sure, but Jupiter's not in there because it is very large compared to Earth. If it's even at this scale, it would have been very large. Yeah, we're getting there. There's only 10 layers left to go. We'll see once we get to the end. I'll try and not do the very last pixel so I can sort of have a bit of a closer pan around. And I'll try and spot if the planets are right around, for one. And if there's anything big that's missing, I'll say like half of Asia or something like that. Again, there's always the call to action as we have on these streams. We are releasing this game on Friday, which is what, 3-4 days away now, so it's very close to coming out. But it doesn't mean that you can't help for release. If you haven't already, make sure you've added this game to your wish list. The button should be just below if you're on the store page here, or if in the broadcast page, head over to the store page and press that wish list button, because every wish list we get will help us drastically towards getting the game out to everybody that we can. Should we argue that there shouldn't be water under the land here? I guess it could be an underwater reservoir. Yeah, adding the game to your wish list, sharing it to your friends so they can add it to their wish list as well. That's the best way you can help us right now. Absolutely amazing support if you do that, because it'll just get more eyes on the game, which is the best way to help us out as a small indie dev team. So yeah, don't hesitate if you haven't already, just add it to the wish list, and we'll be very thankful that you can do that. I know we were saying earlier about the whole like layers of luck of game development and, you know, getting those big streamers to pick up the game, but ultimately just getting the regular player to wish list the game and to get people to view the game is huge as well. So don't think you can't help out as well just because you haven't, you know, got that sort of following or whatever else you might think you need. Adding the game to your wish list is the best thing you can do to help us out and getting the game ready for launch. And if you already have the game on your wish list, thank you very much. Really appreciate that, genuinely from our hearts. As I said, if you've got people who you think would be interested in this game, share it with them, send them the link, share the store page. See if you can convince your friends and your family or whatever else to add to the wish list as well. So our job just said there as well, 9,500, that's how many wish lists we have right now, which is huge. It's a lot more than we were expecting. Thank you very much to everybody, all 9,500 of you who have done that. But again, it doesn't hurt to be a bit cheeky and see if we can get that little bit more, pushes all that 10,000 mark, whatever else. Because the more we get now, the more likely we'll be seen on the Steam algorithm, and more likely that more people will see the game. And it's a snowballing effect if we can do it right. So yeah, thank you very much for adding it, and if you haven't, please do, because it will help us a lot. I think your siblings, your friends, anybody you think will be interested in playing this game, please just send them the link, let them have a look. Convince them to add it to their wish list too, if you have that power over them, because it will help us more than you know. As I said earlier, we were already on the popular upcoming page. So if you clicked view more and then scroll down a little bit, we were there with like 50 in the list or something. A little bit down there, but not too far down, which is really impressive. We're very happy with that. But those extra bumps to wish listing as we get close to release gives us more chance to get right into that front page. And getting on that front page would be absolutely immense for getting the game out there as well. Is there meant to be water under the crust of the earth here, Jack? Once you're done with the dark jokes, Jack, because there might be water here. Don't know
I
what.
think so. I'm not sure actually. I can't tell.
It's underground water. I mean, arguably there are
Maybe not. Yeah.
there are underwater lakes around the world, but I don't know if they're big enough to be seen on this scale.
That's
Like.
true. I think there is.
No, it's in Asia. But you do have India now. You can see past the moon. There's India. We've got some of the Australasia islands there. Again, it's not of the right scale to see enough detail. We're starting to see a bit of the Mediterranean here as well. It's been a couple of layers already. Like the water is. See, this water goes down by 3 layers on the right there. There's some on the left there as well, even. So I don't know. I think we'll be making this level the last one for the stream. So if you've got any more questions whilst we're still live, make sure you let us know. If you are too shy to ask us in chat, we have a Discord as well. We're always available for a conversation there as well. So yeah, push us the game, join the Discord. Does the moon have a call? I guess it does, right? But yeah, it's been just over an hour. We'd like to stream for about an hour, if not a bit more. But ultimately, it is too warm in here. I'm going to have to turn this fan back on soon. Which is why we have to stop streaming, unfortunately. But I said, don't worry, it isn't the end of the stream, so it's number 10. There it is. I don't know. She was talking about chocolate cake. I don't know if she's going to do chocolate cake, or it might just be normal vanilla cake again. We'll have to wait and see. I'm excited to see what she was saying, if she's going to use these little cube cake molds that she said she's got. Because obviously voxel art, she makes little cubes, so you can make a little voxel cake. That might be cool if she does that, we'll see. As I was saying before answering Rob's questions about cake, if you've just joined the stream and you think you've missed most of it, sadly it's ending. We are recording these live streams. We will be uploading it to our YouTube as well, so it'll be visible to watch back in a day or two. And as well as that, we are also going live again on Thursday. Excuse me. So make sure you stop by on Thursday if you're available, from 1 PM BST, to watch some more QA testing. So there'll be more game to cover. And more gameplay to see from the devs as well. So yeah, and as well as that, we will be doing a sort of a live stream, like best of video, on Friday as well, up to the release. We'll be rerunning the live streams on the store page as well. So if you have missed this stream, because you just tuned in and you just want to watch it on the store page, come back on Friday and I'll be playing the footage then as well. So you'll be able to see anything you've missed. Just get you excited for that release as we count down to 8 PM on Friday, BST. And again, last shameless plug in terms of the countdown to the release. As I said earlier, we have the schedule activities in the Discord. Various different events, just different puzzles, different bits of fun and games, just to sort of get everyone interacting, get everyone excited for the release, keep you busy until we release the game. If you join the Discord, every day up until release we have multiple different activities for you to get involved with, and if you haven't tried them already, there's some in there already for you to play and try out now as well. All the way back to Saturday as well, so like what, 4 days worth of activities now, and we've got 3 more as we count down to the release. 3 or 4, 1 or 2. The part of that activity hype, we had the bonus book image for Coloring Pixels, for all you Coloring Pixels fans. That was released yesterday. You can play that on the bonus book now if you've updated your game, that's available to play. And as well as that, we have a bonus image for Wooloop coming out tomorrow, I think, as well. Still a little bit more work to do on that to get it ready. So if you're a Wooloop fan, excited for this new game as well, there's a little bit of Wooloop content for you as well to keep you busy and keep you occupied whilst you're waiting for voxels to drop as well. very near there with the Earth. As I say, once we get to the top layer, I'll stop colouring so we can do a little inspect Jack's work, make sure we've got enough detail in the planet that I'm happy with it. I do like the variation in colours that we've got going on, sort of showing off the change to the desert up at the top of Africa, and there's more Greenland over in Asia, stuff like that. That's a nice little touch. Big bowl of soup. It's a bit too circular to be a bowl. If you put this down, just roll away. You're just saying the Earth is full of spicy soup in the middle. That's all this is here. You know, I've never even considered that the Earth has not the Moon has a core as well, but you know, once you see it together, that makes sense. Of course it does. So look at that. The game is not only relaxing, it's educational. That was the intent, I swear. Chowder. I thought it was cloudier. It's a good point. There are no clouds at all on this entire planet, but I guess you would lose the aesthetic if you had clouds all over the place. Sorry if you're hearing the buses outside. They do quite loud here. All the clouds are in the UK where they should be. Would it be cool if we did like a topographic map as a level? So you got like all the mountains and stuff. That'd be quite cool, right? Don't know what theme to do that in, but again, the topic of themes, we mentioned the DLC earlier as well. The way the DLC selection is going to work will be exactly the same as Coloring Pixels and Wooloop. And we have this established method that we use for choosing what the actual theme of the gallery or the theme of the world is going to be. What that is you can drop suggestions anywhere. You can get in contact with us. So if you think I really want to see a party level, like a level that looks like a birthday party, let us know. Either sending messages on Steam, sending us emails, joining the Discord or social media and dropping us a message there. And all the suggestions that we get, we put into a long list on the Discord channel. There's a dedicated Discord for all the suggestions, and then people who come into the Discord can vote on what ideas they like. And every month, what we do is the top 5 voted options from that list we send to the Patreons as sort of a final vote. So the Patreons get the last say, and they choose out of those 5 options which one they like and which one they want to see for the following month in Wooloop or Coloring Voxels or whatever the game will be. So it'll be for Voxels in this sense. So yeah, if you want to get involved in the selection process, you just need to join our Discord, or if you just want to drop ideas, again, anyway, you send us a message with the ideas. Hell, send us a letter in the post if you really want to. We'll read it and we'll put it in the Discord. And yeah, all you do is vote on those ideas, and the Patrons get the final say. If you want the extra sway in what gets made, join the Patreon. But again, that's not for everybody. You don't need to do that. You can just join the Discord or drop us a message with your ideas, and we'll add it to the list. And one day, your idea may get to the very top and may get selected for the game. Right, so we'll do some of this. This is the North Pole where Santa lives, but we ain't going to colour in the 25s. We're going to have a look around and inspect Jack's work. Can't look down, because if you go down layers, we sort of lose. I bet that's something we do want to have a look at as you boys move the camera around eventually, but for now, this works. So, see what you... What's happened to Europe? The Mediterranean's bigger than Europe. What's happened to Europe, Jack? You've got North America here, a bit of Canada, and is that Greenland? A bit too green for Greenland. No Hawaii, but Hawaii's tiny to be fair. A bit of Japan, I think that's what that is. This Russia does connect to America by Alaska, technically, so it should have a bit of land connecting at the top. And most of the countries in the world are in this tiny strip of land you got here. So we need to maybe make that a bit bigger, but it works. Depends how fussy you want to be. I think the shape and orientation looks right. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. Yeah, overall looking quite good. No major changes, I would say, other than maybe Europe if you want to make that a bit better. That was a satisfying animation. We can watch that again. We didn't do any today, but we do have New Game Plus as well. If you're familiar with Coloring Voxels, what that'll do is that'll let you play the same level again, and then you will see in the main menu sort of a different colour palette or a different colour scheme for the card for any levels in New Game Plus. I guess we can cheekily show one off because we have some quick levels, right? Like the Asteroids level, for example, we can show that off again, just to give you an example what the New Game Plus does. So you see how all the cards get coloured in this same colour. If we jump into a level, that's really quick. And then press New Game Plus. It says, do you want to play it again? Yes. Let me quickly scrub this together. I'll do this as quick as I can. There's only 4 layers in this one, so it shouldn't take too long. We are going to be adding achievements to the game. The achievements again will be exactly the same to other games, where you'll get an achievement for every level completed, and you'll get an achievement for a completed world. So if you complete all the levels in Planetarium, you'll get the Planetarium achievement. And we won't be adding achievements to New Game Plus, just because we see New Game Plus as a way for those who really want to keep playing to have something else to do. We don't want to force people to think they have to play the levels again and again and again. New Game Plus is an entirely optional feature, just for those hardcore completionists who want to get that sort of tick of approval, like look at me, I've done the New Game Plus, or just for those who want to play again and have something to aim for, some sort of goal to shoot for. So there we go, we've done that a second time. I'll get back to the main menu. This asteroid level should be a different colour. Top of this darker thing, but you can see there, it's more of a red. I'm colourblind, so apologies if I'm not right, but that's more of a red than the yellowy green of this one. And you can do it up to 5 times, and it'll cycle through different colours up to black as sort of the final colour, showing that you've done it 5 times. And yeah, that's entirely optional, but it is in the game. You can use Game Plus as much as you like, and I'm sure we'll add stuff to Discord for those of you who extra roles, for those who do all the New Game Plus sort of stuff. But yeah, that is the QA stream for now. Surprisingly, not that many things to write down, which is quite good. We'll be doing more QAing off stream throughout the week, just to make sure we have as much of the game covered as we can. We've got all these extra worlds to look through as well. But yeah, as I said, if you haven't already, the best thing you can do right now is wishlist the game. So please head down on the store page there and hit that button, add it to your Steam wishlist. And then until then, just wait until the release on Friday and stop by again on Thursday for the following streams. And yeah, hope you're excited as we are. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you again on Thursday. Bye.